All right, what's up, everyone? This is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are going to take a first look at our currently in development enhanced quick play version. Now, one thing with previous versions of this is one, it wasn't producing enough knockouts, and two, you still had to roll for every single round of a fight. So what I'm looking to develop here basically is something that you can do anywhere from 2 to 6 dice rolls and simulate a fight. And the purpose of this, obviously Glory Days Boxing has a full play mode where you play 3 or 9 segments, each representing a total of 20 seconds per round. There's an express play mode where instead of 9 rolls per round, you can do a round in 3 rolls and still capture most of the action. And then for people who are doing bigger projects where maybe they want to build records of fighters against tomato cans or lesser fighters, or tournaments, things of that nature, or even do a boxing card where you have fights on the undercard. This is kind of what this tool is going to be geared for, where you can again simulate an entire fight in 2 to 6 rolls. And right now it is probably somewhere in between alpha and beta mode. I'm going to release it to some people for testing as well while I continue to test it. And basically working, I like the flow and I like the different aspects of it. And basically at this point we're looking to get realism in terms of accurate number of stoppages, make sure there's not too many upsets, that type of thing. So join us in the chat, Philip Reynolds, welcome, and Larry Rice, and our good friend Matt Steeler Fan 1933. So is this introduction to the enhanced quick play? I'm basically going to go through the charts and what they mean at this point and how they come into play. So basically, you'll first add up the ring general stars of your fighters, and we have right here on the table Vitaly Klitschko and Bob Satterfield. And Klitschko is 9 stars, Satterfield 4. So that's how many points, and points play into this fight throughout if it goes a distance, into how a decision is determined. So they start out, Klitschko with 9 points, Satterfield with 4. And what you will do then is designate a favorite. Obviously, with more ring general stars, Klitschko is a favorite. If they are tied, say if both had 9, you would roll here on the normal ring control segments to establish who would be the favorite. So in this case, if they were tied, 2 stars outside for Klitschko, 1 star inside for Satterfield, Klitschko would be the favorite based on that. And if you get the same number of stars, you would continue to roll until somebody was designated as a favorite. So that's for fights like, Ali and Lewis, whatever, where they're 2 top fighters or even 2 lower tier fighters are evenly matched, to give a favorite, because being a slight favorite, even if it is a slight favorite, factors into how points are allotted during the match. So that said, we'll go through the 3 charts. What's up, Arnold? Welcome, buddy. So we have an advantage chart, and this is what you start the fight with, and this is to accrue points and also brings into bring in things that may factor a fighter's performance or outcomes, such as cuts, fouls, ring general stars, punches landed, stamina, etc. So you do 1 roll on this and assign any points or take note of any actions. Then you go to the second chart, and there's only 3 charts. Power chart, and this is where you look. This is where most of the TKOs and KOs will occur. And again, as it says here, if you do incur a stoppage on this chart, 1d10 if it's a 10-round fight, with 0 being the 10th round, 12-round fight 2d6, and 15 rounds a d10 and a d6. And if a 0 comes up on the d10, it would count as a 0. So in that case, it would be, if it was a 0-3, it would be 3 rounds, etc. So that's how you determine the rounds, and you go through here, and there's different categories that come into play based on power, chin rating, combination of, will, etc. If you go beyond this chart and the fighters are still both on their feet, you then go to the skill chart, and this is basically the final chart, and here you assign any final points. It can be a fighter ahead, kind of clinching, sealing the deal. fighter behind rallying. There are a few opportunities to get stoppages here as well. Defense comes into play, and also stamina as well. So, and then here, two rare events, or rare occurrences, I should say. A chance for a fighter behind to pull off the Mike Weaver over John Tate 15th round KO punch, or a fighter who is winning to close the show in spectacular fashion. If you get through all three cards and there is no stoppage, you will then add up the point differential, and here you see could be even, anywhere from 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 or more. So this is where the favored comes into play. If fighters have the same number of ring general stars, neither one of them gets a point advantage throughout the course of the fight. You would go here, and the favorite would have a slight advantage. And this roll, you roll 3d20 as it says, and that's how you determine the three judges' scores. And obviously, the higher the point differential when you get up to 4, obviously 1 to 5 will be an automatic unanimous decision, and 4, unless Adelaide Bird rolls 23 times, same thing. The segment control chart, and that does come into play. Move this box. This basically is for the difference in points going throughout the fight. And it gives the fighter that's the high fighter a better chance to maintain control during a chart segment. And control doesn't always come into play, but it does probably a little over half the time. And then if you do ever reach a differential of more than 10 points, 11 plus, the fight ends in a TKO, and then you roll for your stoppage at that time. So it looks like a lot, looks a little bit complex. What's up, David? We're just about ready to go through some examples here, but really you'll see it flows pretty well, I think, so far, and very easy to follow and make sense. So again, we're going to do 3 quick fights. This one will be a decisive. Klitschko is the favorite. And then we will do a fight that should be more competitive. Jess Willard with his 6 stars against Bombardier Billy Wells with 4. And then finally an evenly matched bout between 2 5-star fighters, Ocasio and Luis Ferpo, the Wild Bull of the Pampas. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So you'll see Klitschko with a advantage of 5 points to start the fight. Again, this might not come into play. He rolls a 14, so he'll be the fighter in control as we start. So you go back to the advantage chart. Klitschko in control, roll your 2d10, 29, and the result is if fighter in control has a foul rating over 5, they lose 1 point. If 5 or lower, and I got to fix that spelling error, they gain 1 point for keeping it clean, and if it's a toe-to-toe action, which are fairly rare on the charts, no points gained or lost. So Klitschko, his foul rating is a 3, so he is under that, and he is going to gain a point, which gives him a 10-6 advantage as we move to chart number 2. So here, the first chart is really just to accrue points. So if control comes into play, Klitschko will be in control 84, and this is the power chart. So if fighter behind on points has a will rating of 7 or higher and opponent's power is 2 or more, they lose by TKO. So the key thing here is Satterfield's will rating. It is an 8. That's it. Fight is over. So Klitschko comes through with a TKO victory, and that's going to happen in the second round. So Klitschko, round 2, TKO, and that's how fast you get through it, guys. Again, 2 to 6 dice rolls, so things should get a little more competitive now as we move to Jess Willard versus Bombardier Billy Wells. And here again, Willard has 6 stars and Wells has 2. So the control coming out of the gate is going to be 12 for Willard, and then 13 will be toe-to-toe, and then 14 plus Wells. Hey Rob, what's up, buddy? Yeah, this is something actually you might be interested in if you're doing cards of fights. So our first fight's already in the books and took less than a minute. And again, and a result you would expect in that situation, Satterfield dangerous, but Klitschko should take him out early, and he did. So let's see how Willard and Wells do now. All right, so again, 15, and Bombardier Billy Wells is going to be in control if that comes into play. 79 on quick play chart number 1. Fighter in control adds 5 to their punches landed outside range if it makes it higher than opponent's 2 points. If not, no points. And if it's toe-to-toe, which it's not, nobody gets points. So Wells, he's outside a 41. It's going to make it a 46, and that does give him more points outside than Willard. So he's going to score 2 points, and we head into the second chart with 6 points each, so it's dead even. And again, Willard is a favorite, so he would get 1 to 9. 12 plus is Wells. So Wells, looking to pull the upset here, is in control again. 72 on the power chart. Add power of fighter in control to opponent's will. If greater than 12, then TKO win. If less, score 1 point. And if it's toe-to-toe, which it's not, 1 point to the favored fighter. All right, so we're going to add power. Bombardier Billy Wells has a power of 4. And Willard's will is a 2, so he's going to be okay there. But Bombardier Billy Wells gets another point. And heading to the final chart, it is 7 to 6, Wells in points. So it looks like Wells is poised to pull the upset here. D. Scott Howard has joined us as well. Welcome. And guys, if you're interested in doing some testing on this, if you have the game, drop that in the comments and I will get this chart to you. So final segment, and again, point differential here is now 1 for Wells. So that's going to make Willard the low guy, and with the 20, he's going to get control in the final segment. So it's been a day of low fighters getting control. So here we go, 92. If fighter in control has a counter punch range of more than 4, they get 1 point. If not, opponent gets 1 point. So more than 4, and luckily Willard does have a range of 1 to 5 on the 1 to 6, sorry, on the counters. So he's going to get a point, and it's tied at 7 points, and that is the end of the fight. We're going to go to the scorecards here. So here you roll 2 dice, and again, this is the longest a fight will take. And 0 differential, so Willard will get the nod on a 11 or less, and our rolls are 3, 11, and 5. So Jess Willard escapes with a narrow unanimous decision over Bombardier Billy Wells. That's fight number 2 in the books. That will bring us to our final fight. So here we're evenly matched, and this fight we're going to have to roll for ring control to establish a favorite. Ocasio 2 stars inside, Ferpo 1 star outside, so Ocasio will be the favorite. And we'll get back to the action. So again, 1 to 9 is Ocasio. Both fighters starting with 5 points. So control 15 is going to go to Luis Ferpo to start the fight, and off the advantage chart a 57. Fighter in control adds 5, so it's another outside punches landed result. So it's going to be 45, and that does give Ferpo 2 points. So he's up 7 to 5 going into the second segment of the chart. Yeah, no, and this should work across all classes, guys. So yeah, I'll get that to you right after the stream, Rob. All right, power chart, and the high man here is Ferpo now since he got those 2 points. So a roll of 4, 12 or less Ferpo. So he's in control in the power segment, and 77. If point difference is 4 or more, trailing fighter doubles will rating and makes will check. And if he does not fail, so if, and it's not going to apply here, but if Ferpo was ahead by 4 points, he's only ahead by 2, Ocasio would double his will to a 14, and he would then have to make a save with the D20, and if it was less than 14, he'd be stopped. But it is a closer than that fight, so that is not going to come into play. And if there's no KO or point difference, then 1 point will go to Ferpo. So he's up 8 to 5, going to our final chart. Looks like we might have another decision. And Ferpo again in control, 63 in our last chart check. Add total punches landed. Fighter with the highest number gets 2 points. So this could swing it to a closer fight. So here, 48 and 40, it's going to be 88 for Ferpo. And 54 and 39, it is going to be 91 for Ocasio. So Ocasio is going to snatch the 2 points, and that makes it 8-7. And we go to the judges' cards now. Ferpo ahead by 1 point. So 1-13. And that actually should say, in this case, favored for 1-3, and then high boxer. And I'll fix that on the final chart too. So here, high boxer is going to be Ferpo. And 13, it's going to be a split decision, and Ferpo is going to get the nod. So that is our final fight. We'll do one more. Let's do another matchup. Let's bring Klitschko back in here to fight Ferpo. This should be a better fight, as he stopped Bob Satterfield early by 2 rounds. So it's going to be a 9-5 differential. So Klitschko is going to start at a +4. So again, you can see this gets a fight resolved much quicker than the original quick play chart that came with the game. So I'm excited about that. And really, I do like how it flows. A lot, actually, and it's just a matter of now getting the balance down to make sure we get enough stoppages and not too many upsets. You can do what, hey, thanks, Eric. Appreciate you joining us as well. Rob, you can do whatever you want. And Eric, if you want a copy too to test, I'll email that to you as well. Just let me know in the chat. Yeah, you don't have to, Rob. You can do it off your computer. If you want to put it on cardstock, fine. This probably, unless, will probably not be the final version. I would like to think I got it right on the first try, but I'm not 100% confident of that. I'm just worried about stoppage has been a little bit too low, so that's what I really want to focus on. And again, make sure there are not too many upsets. All right, so Klitschko at a +4. All right, so the segment control chart, 14 or less, is going to be Vitaly. And 15 is going to be a toe-to-toe result, and that might or might not affect anything. So 81 off the advantage chart. If fighter in control has equal or higher stamina, no. Toe-to-toe, higher stamina gets 1 point. So Klitschko is a 70 and Ferpo is a 70 as well, and no points scored. We go to the power chart. Klitschko in control, 61, and if fighter in control has power or 3 or more, opponent doubles will, and then you check the D20 for the TKO. So Klitschko has 4 or more, so Ferpo's will is a 5, it's going to double to 10, so 10 or less, fight is over. Oh, and Ferpo survives. Takes a battering, and he's going to live to fight to the final chart. And Klitschko does get a point, though. So he's going to be up by 5 going into this final segment, which makes it certain he'll maintain control. He does. 0-5, fighter ahead on points, gets 2 points, and will check for trailing fighter. So Klitschko is going to go to 12 points now. And will check for Ferpo, no adjustment to his will check, 5 or less, and fights over 3. So Klitschko on the last chart comes on strong and stops Luis Ferpo by TKO. And appropriately, that stoppage happened in the 10th round. So Klitschko in our little testing today had a 2nd round TKO over Bob Satterfield and a 10th round TKO over Luis Ferpo. I appreciate that. All right, so here we go. And I will go ahead and... You want to see one more fight? Let's do one more fight. How about we do... Let's see how Jess Willard can stand up to Klitschko. Klitschko 2 stoppages in our quick play testing. So here again, Willard, he is a 6-star fighter, so it's going to be a 9-6 advantage out of the gate for Vitaly. And rolling our control, Vitaly will have control in that first segment. So you can see I've already got through 4 fights in what, 10 minutes play time, maybe 15 with my talking. So 29. 29, fighter in control has a foul rating over 5. They lose a point, and Klitschko does not. Again, he's going to get a little bit of an advantage for keeping it clean. It's 10-6 as we head to our power segment. Let's see if Vitaly can keep his KO streak going in our quick play testing. 11 with a difference of 5. He is in control. So 30 on the power chart. Shocker. Underdog has 3 or more power. Favored fighter must check or pass a chin KO check. So let's see if Willard, who has a power of 5, can pull out a little bit of magic here. Vitaly, though, with a chin KO of 2, probably going to weather the storm. 15 he does easily, but drawing back with a point to make it 10-7 is Willard as we head into the last segment. Klitschko in danger of losing his knockout streak here in our quick play testing. 10 going into the last round, and Vitaly maintains control at 73. And you can see control doesn't always factor in. Sometimes it does, though, and it's going to here. 73, if fighter not in control has the highest total punches landed, they get a point. If not, opponent gets 2 points. So that's probably going to swing it decisively, as Willard is 83 total, and Klitschko is going to be 93 total. So Vitaly gets 2 more points, and it ends 12-7. So Klitschko gets taken the distance here by Willard. And with a 5-point differential, it's going to be an automatic unanimous decision to Vitaly Klitschko. So that is it, guys. And you can see, shit, let's do another fight. They're going quickly. You know what? Well, this should be exciting. Let's do Luis Ferpo against Bob Satterfield. And this will be the last fight, I promise. Yeah, so, hey, Larry, I appreciate that. You know, it's definitely a work in progress. And hopefully it'll get there where it gives really good, accurate results. You know, as accurate you can get with quick play, you know, and still gives a feel of the game, which really what I'm looking to go for on the charts is still give you a feel of watching a boxing match, even though it's just going like bam, 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 and just a few dice rolls. To answer your question, Arnold, the fantasy set, the initial release will be on printed. Now, the way that the fantasy set will work, or fictional set, I've got, it's going to be a living universe, so like every year and a half, I'll release updates. Some fighters will retire, other new fighters will join the universe, skills will erode or improve, and I'll kind of keep a running storyline going on the description, similar to what Keith does with his fictional sets like Red, White, and Blue Racing, which, you know, I'm a big fan of and really like how he has those little narratives going to kind of immerse you in the fictional universe. So the initial release will be on cardstock and PDF, and then going forward as fighters were added or retire, whatever, I will add new fighters and changed ratings, probably just on freebie PDFs, and that's still to be decided. And the freebies will be on the print format, so you'll be able to print them out. It just won't be on the 130 cardstock unless you can find that. You know, so you'll be able to keep a printed card universe going, basically. So our final fight of the evening, 5-star Luis Ferpo against 4-star Bob Satterfield. Both these guys are brawlers and both have pretty good power, so this should be fun. Ferpo with the 1-star advantage will be the favorite. And roll of 20, but Satterfield is going to come out hot out of the gate and establish control as we go to the advantage chart. 95, fighter with lowest stamina loses a point. If tied, neither lose a point. So Satterfield is going to go from 4 to 3, and you can lose points in this as well as we go to the power chart. So now with an advantage of 2, 12 or less for Ferpo. And I should roll the control dice. 17, though, it's going to be Satterfield again. 57 here. Fighter in control has a power of 2 or more, which Satterfield does. He's a 6. Opponent must pass will check. If no TKO or power below 3, then 2 points. So let's check the TKO. And Ferpo again, 5 or less. 13, he survives. So that's going to be a point to Bob. He's back up to 4. And going into the final chart, So, just in first blush and in testing I've done offline, probably have to tweak some of the stuff in the power chart to up the stoppage chances a little bit. But apart from that, I think we're on the right track. So here, 8, Ferpo is in control in the final segment. And 52, fighter in control gets 2 points if favored, 1 point if underdog. Ferpo is favored, so he's going to get 2 points, 7-4. That's the bell. So what I'll probably do is I'll add a couple more stoppages to this final chart, or stoppage chances, and then tweak some of the numbers on the power chart as well. And I'm rolling the wrong dice for the decision. So 3-point advantage. This should be a comfortable decision for Ferpo, 17 or less. And we've got a split decision. One judge slept through the fight and gave it to Satterfield, but a split decision for Luis Ferpo. So yeah, I'll get this out for testing. Dude, I've got your email address, Rob. Come on, we're buddies. I'll email it to you right after the fight. So yeah, you can do just make sure there's no more questions. You can do a fight. Hell, you can do fights in probably 2 minutes max. And if you get one like our first fight with Klitschko and Satterfield it was basically 2 die rolls and the fight was over. So that took less than a minute. So that, and that's the purpose. So I'll get this again. Anyone wants to test, let me know. But appreciate you checking this out. And if things go well in testing, I'll really focus on getting the tweaks done as quick as possible. And hopefully we'll have this released. And again, this will be a freebie to anyone who wants it on both the Facebook page, and I'll also send it to Joe at Sideline Strategy. And again, within 2 weeks, hopefully this will be out there, and this will help with larger universes, building records, and fighting undercard bouts. Just get through fights you don't want to do the entire Glory Days boxing experience on much, much, much quicker. So appreciate you watching. One more bit of news, guys. Appreciate that, Arnold. Thank you, and thanks for joining us, Matt, and everyone in the chat. One other piece of news, though. I'm about to, I got finally the boxes. I'll show you. Boxes came today for the printed version of Glory Days College Football. So finally, I got the printed all-time great team set back from the printer 2 days ago with charts and all that stuff. So I now have all the components. So I'll be sending that to Joe as well to put up for sale on the Sideline Strategy website. Again, Glory Days College Football printed. And then the 2021 season teams will be going to the printer shortly. And once that's done, they will be released in print version as well as PDF as well. So at that point, next, of course, will be the fictional set for Glory Days Boxing. And then once that's done and this chart is done, I will get to work on the 2022 college football season for Glory Days College Football. So a lot going on. And again, thank you everyone for joining us. Rob, check out his channel as well. And I got to get on for some playoff picks, buddy. I'm sorry, I've just been super busy, but I'll get that chart right to you. Arnold, appreciate the kind words. And Matt, Matt is my proofreader extraordinaire, Steeler fan 1933. Thank you. Larry Rice, appreciate you stopping by. You as well, Eric. And D. Scott Howard up in the Pacific Northwest. Thanks for stopping in as well, my friend. And David Selinsky as well. And of course, our good buddy Philip Reynolds. So hope you all have a great night, and thanks for checking it out. If you like this, and again, leave comments, even suggestions on improvement, etc., whatever the case may be, in the comments section, and hit that thumbs up button on your way out. And hope you all have a great night. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Take care.